The other issue I've had with a few women I attract is the convo seems to go over well on the phone. Maybe on the date I crack a lit of jokes, maybe over tease, trying to do the cocky and funny, ask some questions and work to escalate, but they feel I'm too touchy-feely, and most women, the convo seems to be going well, but they tell me I'm a great guy, but there's no romantic connection or spark. So without knowing too much more and not trying to just imagine, I will say that if somebody's saying you are a great guy and there's no spark or romantic connection, then they probably didn't feel flirted with or kind of have that sexual chemistry intention. So I know that you said I crack a lit of jokes and I over tease and I try to do the cocky funny, but there's quite a bit of a difference between playful teasing and flirtatious teasing. And I think that's something guys need to learn is like a lot of guys read pickup and dating advice and they're always jokey like, oh yeah, you're so silly, or get out of here, you nerd. That's not very romantic, right? Like just because you bust somebody's balls doesn't mean that you're saying like, I think you're hot or attractive or implying that or feeling that sexual connection. Think about like joking and teasing and being cocky funny. We do that with our guy friends all the time, right? That's kind of how a lot of us interact with dudes. So I think a lot of guys think that like just teasing or being sarcastic or joking is flirting. And it can be, depending on how you do it, but it's not. So I would ask like, are you ever being real with these women and being bold in the sense of like, hey, by the way, I just want to tell you listening to your voice right now is really soothing and it's really cute. Or damn, like it sounds really good right now to listen to your voice. And you say it sincerely, right? Because even when we're joking and being playful, sometimes we say it like haphazard and offhand and often with a lighter voice like, oh my God, you're so silly. Get out of here. You're such a nerd. That's not like, think of the difference of saying like, oh my God, you're such a nerd. Like you're such a bad girl. Haha. Okay. I'm exaggerating, but versus like, seriously, stop. You're such like a naughty girl on this phone right now. And you slow down and you say it intentionally. And you say it in a way that's saying like, yes, I'm joking, but I'm also telling you I desire you, right? I'm being strong about it. So I would say like, are you actually telling women what you find attractive and desiring them in the moment, giving them a more bold or flirtatious compliment? Are you asking them more intimate questions or getting into sexual topics and asking about sexuality? You know, what do you find attractive in somebody? Do you consider yourself very sexual? How important is that side of a connection to you? And starting to explore sexual talks together. Are you doing just sexualizing conversation in general with innuendo? And she's like, yeah, I'm just laying in my bed right now. And you're like, yeah, I wouldn't mind being there either. Right? And not saying it sarcastically, but saying it like just forward. Because I think that's what strikes them, right? You say things joking, offhand, lighthearted, it just kind of passes through. It's funny, it's silly, it's whatever. But then you stop and you say something strong and it feels strong, right? Put yourself in the position of if that woman said that to you, if she was on the phone with you and she's like, oh my God, you know, I got to tell you, listening to your voice right now is really, really good or makes me feel really hot. Or whatever, you'd be like, oh shit, right? Like it would hit you strong and you'd be like, all right, let's go. So again, I don't know if that's what's missing, but usually when a guy says, I'm trying to be the funny, playful, flirty, cocky, funny guy, but women are still just seeing me as a friend or not really intimate, I think they're not actually balancing being flirting, being intentional, being strong, asking them bold questions, talking about sex, and so forth.